Question number 5, TJ. If someone was to prove the existence of God to you, be it myself...
No, you cannot prove the existence of God, full stop.
...for someone else, or maybe a video, if I could prove the existence of God to you...
If you could prove the existence of God to me, either... Well, of course, the word proof is a stage in an academic argument, okay? So there can be proof of basically nearly anything, including the well-known flying spaghetti monster. You know, proof is just a stage in an argument. It does not mean to say that something actually exists. Firstly, you've got to get that into your thick head. Alright? Does proof of God, which is a concept which you don't understand, interest me? Now, is it just me who thinks that this particular question by its own standards is absolutely stupid, abhorrent, unintelligent? Does, God, proof of God from you? No, you just cannot prove God. You can develop the experience of the presence of God. Yes, anyone can do that with enough prayer, with enough meditation. I know this. Would it change you? Only if I was dumb enough to believe my experiences. How? I would probably end up a twisted little fucker like you are. Okay, Sean? I don't like you.
Okay. Would that interest you? And if you came to believe in God, would you then delete all the videos you made?
Well, I personally cannot come to believe in God the way that you do, because you do not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. You are bigoted, you are fascistic, you are anti-Semitic, racist, you abhor reason and logic, and you abuse the English language for your own sick, twisted, perverted reasons. Go away.
Against God and apologize and then use your popularity to, spread the good news? I think you would. I think you would. So maybe you don't have to answer that. So then, if you don't need to answer question number 5, let me make you one additional question. This will be the last one. Question number...
Thank crikey.
6, TJ. Atheism is a belief based on the lack of experience.
Atheism is not a belief. It is not based upon lack of experience. Atheism is simply the lack of belief, not that of experience, because it's from experience that atheists gain their understanding of the world. Therefore, the first part of this argument absolutely sucks in every possible way. Grow up, Sean. And is that more valid?
You've never had an experience, an actual experience where you said, therefore there's no God. Okay?
Well, come on, anyone can have an experience. I could take LSD and have a conversation with a pink elephant. It doesn't mean to say the pink elephant exists.
But people have experienced God.
Yeah, okay, like the chap with LSD has experienced a pink elephant. Now, think.
Like the testimony of Scripture or in my own life, I can't really explain everything that's happened to me.
Yeah, you can't really explain anything because all you are is a brainwashing cult leader, okay? That's what you want to be. That's what you want to be when you grow up. A cult leader, a brainwashing, narcissistic, money-grabbing, lying, cheating, stealing bastard.
Right now, because we're at the end of the video, but people who believe in God, by the millions and millions and millions, claim to have experienced God, which is why they believe in God.
Well, then I feel sorry for them. Okay, because if you have an experience, that does not necessarily mean to say that anything is 110% clear-cut and true. That's why you need reasoning, that's why you need the scientific method to be able to disprove your own beliefs.
So it's a testimony from experience.
No, it's not a testimony from experience. It's a testimony from psychosis and deliberately choosing to simplify the world because you do not have the capacity to be able to understand and reason. That is why religious people are actually dangerous. But you can have religious experiences without actually being a mad cult leader. You can have religious experiences and they will raise more questions than provide answers. Unless you've understood that, then you're, a pathetic child. Go to hell.
Versus the atheist who has had no such experience, who then says the people who believe in God are crazy because they've had an experience that they haven't had. So atheism...
No, I think that the atheists say that those who believe in God are crazy is because they don't actually think, they just believe. And belief is a statement that you do not know, but you're accepting something to be true without actually, any evidence, thought, or anything else.
as an argument from the lack of experience. Now,
no, I've already said it's it's a model of the world from experience. You are thick.
is that a proper way to argue? Is that really...
Yeah, I think to have experience, real experience, and to think about it, yes, that is a good way to argue.
a good way to build a worldview from a lack of
Yeah, it's a good way to build a worldview, and it's not from a lack of experience.
Do you have a right to say, I didn't experience God because you haven't? Okay, if the Bible's true, that means...
Well, so what?
all of it's true.
No, that doesn't.
Now, as an atheist, you must be wondering, well, if the Bible's true, why haven't I experienced the Christian God? What's going on?
Well, no. The Bible can't be true because it's self-contradictory. Alright? It's written by lots of different authors. That's why there are various different books in the Bible, because different books are written by different people, each with their own worldview, their own interpretation of life, and therefore, by its very nature, the books themselves will contradict each other. Therefore, the Bible cannot necessarily be true if it is self-contradictory. Secondly, humans are fallible. Therefore, each individual book within the Bible will have contradictions within it. Therefore, each and every single book cannot be true. There are only a point of view which we can use for introspection and contemplation. That is what real Christianity could be about if people like you didn't exist, Sean.
There must be something wrong. Well, if it's true, then this must be true. And ye shall seek me and find me when you search for me with all of your heart. Now,
No. You're trying to, very cleverly, I might say, confuse your audience. And you're doing it in a way which is actually wrong. Alright, because you're still seeing the Bible as being an authority, even though the Bible can't be an authority because it's a number of different books. Each book's coming from a different perspective, because it's coming from a different person. And even each person is going to contradict themselves because they're human and therefore fallible. Alright? Now, to say that this particular passage that you're talking about is even remotely valid to anybody is intellectually flawed.
PJ, can you honestly say that you've searched for God with all of your heart?
Brainwashing, fucker, that doesn't matter. You, VenomFangX, are trying to explain God as if he is real and physical. Think about that. If that's the case, then you have to explain perfectly the evidence for the existence of God, which you do not have the capacity to do. Neither does your reasoning.
No, you haven't. You've made a YouTube account where you...
Yeah, well, so have you, you twat.
You've encouraged hundreds of thousands of people to disobey and disbelieve.
No, he hasn't encouraged them to disobey and disbelieve. He's been trying to teach people how to think. If you don't like that, you don't have the right to have a YouTube account. Go away.
They're not searching. So if the Bible's true, and that's true, then that's why you shouldn't be perplexed that you haven't experienced God, because you're not looking for him. Anyways, God bless. Look forward to your responses, and...
Okay. So, just very quickly in summary, obviously VenomFangX has a very rapid style of delivery. That's part of his ploy. That's part of his method. We've seen that he is basically thick and he's using stupid arguments as a means of trying to destroy people and trying to break people down. This is the behavior purely of a cult leader. Alright, a brainwashing, sick, psychic vampire cult leader, a twisted, evil person who wants to destroy individuals. There's nothing about this man that is any good whatsoever. We can see that everything about his arguments are flawed because he's trying to use convincing arguments to prove the existence of his God, which of course he has not done and he cannot do. The fact that he's even attempting and using these methods is says something very, very dark about his character. Do not trust this man. Nick Dutch signing out.